just like shut down. I was like, all right, Brian's not talkative. So me and Tone carried the talk, but
Nice.
all right. We are back, Happy Power with Travis Rogers. If you guys don't know who he is, I don't think you've seen anything as far as powerlifting goes, at least. Guy's a monster. Has been in the game over a decade, right? Like,
Yeah, about a decade, yeah.
About a decade, because I feel like you were one of the first people that I kind of seen coming up, and it's been, I don't know, 8 years for me, so I think you were already after it, getting after it. So, yeah, it's awesome to have you on the podcast. You've been coming to the gym here every once in a while. You help out with meets here, which is always greatly appreciated, reffing, USPA, coaching people, lifting yourself. You did our first meet here, actually.
I did. Yeah, I loved it, man.
Yeah,
I was talking to some of the guys out there from the media crew you got out there, man. This is like my home away from home, man. I love being here. I always love invites from you up here. I love reffing here. I loved our first meet, even though the gym wasn't put together all the way. We still had a really good time.
Yeah.
Some TVs middle session
just
going out.
Winged it.
Like, yeah, it was fun though. It was definitely a fun meet.
No, it was definitely a good time. Turned out way better. I was like a couple days out, I'm like, what the fuck? This might be a little too soon, but
I think it's like that with every meet. No matter how many you throw, no matter how many you host or direct or whatever you want to do, I think you always get the what the fuck like a couple days out. Yeah.
You always say, like, I've been figuring that out too. Now that I think we've had like 4 or 5 here now. And each time I'm like feeling a little bit too overconfident, and all of a sudden I'm still here at like 4 a.m. the night before the meet trying to like finish things up, and I'm like, damn, how did I forget all this shit? And it's like the 4th, 5th time. We ran a couple over at Conchi too, and it's just like there's always those things you forget, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, no, I actually impressed Jess, my wife, and I definitely impressed some of the other gym members. I think this was the first meet we've had at the cave where I didn't spend one of the previous nights leading up to it in a sleeping bag in the gym. Like I sleep in the gym. I keep a sleeping bag in there. Like I'll sleep in between weigh-ins. Like if it gets too hectic, man, you're just afraid to leave. You want it to go. It's that last minute pressure. You want it to be perfect. You want the lifters happy.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't say all meet directors are like that, or like even people that host meets, because I feel like I've showed up to a lot of them and I'm like, what the fuck? Like like you guys just slap this together quickly. So that's why I'm always like, I want to see the lifters come in and be like impressed, have a smooth. I don't want like anything on our part to negatively affect their day.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
like if there's something you could have pre-thought of or prevented, if like you're taking that measure to make sure your staff's happy, your crew's happy, your lifters are beyond happy. You want people coming back, and I mean I know you experience that on even like a larger scale than I do, just because your gym's so much bigger than mine. I mean, what do you have here? How many square feet?
This is like 16. It's like a little over 16,000.
Yeah,
altogether.
I'm literally 4 times smaller, so I'm 4,000 square feet. So
that was like Conchi though. I feel like that was Conchi. It makes for the smaller venues or gyms make for crazy energy though. I'm assuming I wanted to go. I was actually supposed to go to your meet this past weekend or 2 weekends ago, right?
No, it's actually last weekend.
Last weekend. Father's
Day.
Yeah, I was supposed to go down there. Eric competed, and I had one of the guys here wanted me to handle him, Mark. But
I love Eric. Eric killed it. He did such an awesome job. It's funny. So leading up to this, and then, like, of course, I knew you were coaching him. He promised me, he's like, man, like, I know you're post-op, like you're aiming for your first 600 back. He's like, if you pull your first 600 back coming up, man, I got to get this 400. I promise CT. So like me and him had this whole thing planned out for like weeks. So it was really cool seeing him to do that, and especially in front of me on the platform. Pretty sure I was the head judge for it too.
Really?
So it was really cool being able to see that.
9 for 9. He crushed it. That was awesome. He trains at your gym every once in a while?
He comes down probably, like, I get to see Eric like once a month, but since he's been helping out so much with my team and with Bobby's, I get to see him pretty often now. So it's been nice, man. Like, a lot of the people like I've done practicals with and under me who've learned stuff from me, it's really nice because like you always think even though they're further away, you're not going to get to like really bond and see those people anymore. But honestly, it's been the opposite. Like I'll meet them once, do the practical, we become tight, and then it's like, dude, you pop up everywhere. Like I'm actually going to see Eric tomorrow. He's helping out spot and loading at DOC like 30 minutes away. So I'm like, cool, man. See you next weekend. Like it's really tight knit.
No, yeah. Before we kind of jump into that, because I wanted to get into the topic of kind of like I've seen you post before about people giving back to the sport and stuff like that. I think that's a really good topic. Let's just touch on like what got you into powerlifting in the first place if people aren't familiar.
So actually, and this is kind of like an ironic thing, you asking me like how I got into powerlifting, especially like tonight. So Rob's over there probably smiling because he's like, I know you're going to talk about what you did tonight. When I am going to talk about what I did tonight. So one of the things that got me in powerlifting, when I decided to get sober and clean, it was really, and now that I look back on it, I've written articles on this for Elite FTS. It's really sick because you kind of think of like you're literally swapping one addiction for another. Because you know, working out to some people is working out, and I'd rarely classify what we do as working out, you know, to a normal onlooker. But like, you know, you build past the point where it's not just training anymore, and it's like, it's, you know, a glorified hobby, but it becomes your life, and you're willing to do anything, to give anything for it. And so I decided, like, when I got into powerlifting, you know, if it had given me that chance and given me that option of a way out of, you know, drinking and drugs, that it gave me a second chance, that I'd be fine with it if it took me back out the same way.
Yeah.
So I really decided that, you know, a lot of people are like, you're fucking crazy, you know, why would you be risking getting, you know, hurt again already? Like, you're pulling crazy weight, like this many posts, dude, like, and I do care. Like, I don't want to get hurt. I want to be there for my friends. I want to be there for the gym, the family, the wife, the everything. But like, at the same time, like, if you were willing to give, if that gave you everything in the first place, there's some part of you that has to be willing to allow it to be all taken away by the same way, man.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about powerlifting. Like, if you had let that bar fucking crush me to death instead of tear both my quads, I know every single one of my people at my gym would have said, well, he fucking went out doing exactly the way he wanted to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, trading one for the other, I think it definitely worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a much better escape, I would imagine.
For sure.
Yeah, obviously it's just going from one extreme to the next, but, you know, you're getting stronger. It does a lot, just stress relief, brings people together, which is a huge thing for me, is the community.
Know, as equally, that's a huge thing for me. And I think, and I've said this before, and I'm not like trying to blow smoke up your ass or anything, but I've told many people, like, you're one of the few people, especially on the East Coast and Eastern Shore, like me personally, I look up to as someone who's equally like giving back to the community, who's like doing good in the community with powerlifting, who is bringing people together, who gives a fuck. And it's hard to find people like that. So again,
that.
No smoke up the ass, but from me to you, man, I really appreciate what you do, being down here, allowing me to come work your events, throw meets where a lot of your people come and put on shows, man. Like, I appreciate that.
No, for sure. I appreciate that. Coming from you obviously means a lot. You've been in the game a long time. And, yeah, I think that's just, I don't know. For me, that's what it's all about. I literally have probably said this story so many times, even on here, but what got me kind of hooked was I wanted to compete in something. I enjoyed lifting, but the first meet I went to, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. And a few of the guys there, you could tell, were like, oh, geez, like they've been in it a while. Kind of like took me under their wing a little bit, just literally gave me a little bit of guidance, meant the world, had a fun day, good experience. And from there, I was like, damn, this is sick. Like,
you get hooked, man.
Yeah, you get hooked.
You never
like,
forget your first meet. I love that. Like, and I think that's probably one of my favorite parts of like hosting meets, especially at your own gym. It's like, and these two, I got my friends Tim Brown and Rob Jaddick up in here with us on the couch. What? I love your last name. It's a good last name. Came down with me to, you know, hang out, have fun here at PWRBLD, and we love coming down here. But I think one of the biggest things for me, especially as a host, as a meet director, as a state chairman, is like, you know, you meet these kids, and it's funny because I'll be working the event as well as hosting, but like, you know, you're taking a kid back, you can tell they're super nervous. They just checked in their gear with you, you know, and you're taking them back to weigh in, and they're like, oh, you know, it's crazy being at your places. This is my first meet, and they're so like gun shy, and it's like, do you never forget that shit? Yeah. Like, and I always wanted to be that person. Like, okay, so if it was flipped, you know, like, wouldn't you want your first meet to be was like if you looked up to someone, they were like, dude, that guy was a shit. Like, that dude weighed me in. He treated me like a normal person. Like, he shot the shit with me. I fucking signed a kid's shoe today. In here. Like, I was like, what? Like, I've signed some belts and stuff, like, you know, and I've never been big on stuff like that. Like, I'm just a dude with a bunch of fucking tattoos who likes to lift. Like, just like a lot of people, maybe not all the tattoo part, but He's like, dude, you got to sign my shoes. And I'm like, they're brand new. You sure, man? Like, I felt guilty. And so he wanted me to sign his shoe. But, I mean, it was just, I've met people in the sport who I used to look up to when I was, you know, in the 181s. And it was just like, they're fucking dog shit. Dude, their personalities were dog shit. The way they carried themselves was dog shit. And, like, I never wanted to be that person. Like, I wanted, if somebody fucking respected me for something as simple as fucking picking up weights, like, why would you want to crush that for them, man? Yeah. Like, just, dude, just treat people the way you want to fucking be treated. And, I mean, it's so played out, but, like.
It's like the golden rule. That's
it truly is, man. It's
I've
just
always,
like,
it's like, that's how I try and treat everyone. You know what I mean? Like, give respect to get respect. Treat everyone how you want to be treated. Like, the most cliche thing. But it's like, I feel like that's like the golden rule to life. Like, in the gym, out of the gym, whatever it may be. And it's like, some people just, they miss that or they forget
dude,
that.
It's unreal the amount of people that miss that, especially in our sport.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is a glorified hobby. None of us are out here making bank off of this.
I know,
like, why would you be addicted to someone?
Big league people, it's just like, come on, man. Like, and just to, you know, go back to the first meet that you did here, that was the one thing I noticed because, like, I would see a lot of people coming up to you. I was, like, kind of like, man, like, I hope, like, they don't, like, bum rush him the whole time. I'm like, I know you're trying to do some crazy things. You want to focus, but, like, I just seen you taking everything in stride. And that's what I was like, all right, this dude's, like, A1 in my list. You know what I mean? Because there's not a lot of people like that. You know, it seems to be hit or miss. I've met some people, and I'm like, damn, they're cool as fuck. And then I meet the other half, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't really care for them too much. So it seems like it can go either way. Sometimes, like, people hitting these crazy numbers, and maybe they're getting some of the Instagram hype, kind of goes to their head a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. Actually, I wrote an article for Elite right after that meet, your first one here, and I think one of the pictures that posted up with it was of me and Sergi sitting next to each other on the bench, and he told me, he was like, dude, like, that was like an unreal experience for me as like a young junior lifter, like sitting next to you on a bench and you just being like, what's up, dude? And like, how's your day going? Like, just shooting the shit with you. And then he saw his picture next to me on Elite and was like, bro, that's so cool. Yeah. And I was like, man, like, why wouldn't I want that there? Like, you know what I mean?
And it's like, who knows? Like, I mean, he's been getting after it for a while, but like, I feel like ever since that meet, I feel like he's also
killing
just
it.
Fucking
Dude,
going nutty.
Phenomenal. He won best lifter and best junior lifter at my meet last weekend. Yeah. Took home an extra $200 cash. Like, it was like $1,000 worth of sponsorship prizes, man. I said, go take your boys out to dinner, man. Like, he had a good crew with him, and they were all from your gym, and everyone from your gym was super respectable. Nice, talked to me the whole time, thanked me a bunch, like, dude, that's nonstop. Good. Yeah, you're raising them right, man. You got a good crew, man.
Regardless, like, how close I am to some of them, I feel like just like the culture that we've always tried to like breed from Conchi till now is just like the respect aspect, you know, just presenting yourself in like a, you know, respectable manner. Like, all the hype's great, all the hype's always fun. Especially Sergio, he knows how to bring it, but at the same time, like, comes in always, shakes hands, how's it going? Thanks, Collin. Like, thanks for, you know, just even coming through. I'm like, dude, thank you, man. I'm just glad you're here.
And that was said at our meet as well. And I told him that. I said, dude, like, despite how young you are, despite how fresh you're in the sport, and how good you are already, you're not letting that go to your head. I saw him, you know, talk to each lifter, shake hands with me, like, very respectable, and like, dude, that's what I want to see. Like, I love that about some of the guys in the newer generation. I hope that continues, man, because you do see a lot of the young guys, you know, 18 to 23, like, really headstrong and fired up. And it sucks, man, because you don't want other kids their age looking at that and be like, oh, well, this is how you're supposed to carry yourself in the sport, because it's not.
Yeah, no, and you definitely do see some of that. I feel like, you know, again, for me, I'm always kind of focused on what's going on in here. I feel like it's been pretty good, and I think, again, that just bleeds down from, like, hopefully myself, the team we have here, when you come through, all of the big lifters that come through, I feel like at the end of the day are just good people. Yeah. Dan Griggs comes through all the time. You got Nabil and Roman and all that crew. They're all, you know, fun to be around. So that makes a huge difference, and I think, you know,
I actually just personally invited Nabil back for
really?
October. Because I know he was trying to pull 7, and there were some questionable calls on his second attempt. Yeah. And I said, hey, man, like, I'm going to extend this offer to you. Come back and do it the right way. Come back and get the number you're after, and it'll be in front of me and 2 other gray shirts. Like, no bullshit. like best judges we got, like no one will fucking question anything.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, for real? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
That kid competes like every weekend.
He does.
Like,
that's why I knew he would
crazy.
accept it. But like,
Yeah.
no, I told him no pressure, but he was like, oh yeah, I'm coming. So I mean, that was cool of him.
No,
but
yeah.
I don't know, man. You just have a good atmosphere here. And it was funny. So me and Rob were driving up. I've actually been driving again for like 2 weeks. I got cleared to drive, so that's been nice to have a little freedom. But we were talking on the way here. The last time I was here, I squat 717 for a triple PR.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then I went and had a really awesome meet for Bobby over.
Browns?
Yeah, it's Brown's Winter Classic. That was a fun meet, man. It was snowing. Like, it was like everything like about you as like a little kid that gets you hyped up. Like, it was snowing and the meet was called Winter Classic. And you're like, fuck yeah, this is how it's like when it snows on Christmas. You're like, it just feels right.
Yeah.
Like, I was really hyped for that meet. So, no, man, I had a great meet. Tim Brown was with me, and we talked a lot too. And it's like, I met Tim. Tim, if you want to say something, you can. If you don't, you can be quiet. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you feel comfortable with. All right. So like, I met Tim through my buddy Gray, and me and Tim have become very close. I'm not afraid to show some man love. But we met at a really interesting time because like I had totaled like 1940, and it was relatively conservative, and like, you know, I was really. Everyone's like, you know, 2K is like, you're really approaching 2K raw. And then of course I had this like crazy accident. So Tim has literally met me and seen and worked with me, cause I programmed him, but has seen me at like my peak, watch me fucking destroy both my legs. And then, watch me pull my first 700 post out tonight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my man's seen some shit already. We've been through a lot already.
Yeah.
But I remember the first day back in our gym, I was still in a wheelchair, and this motherfucker, like, it was so hard for me to watch anyone squat. Like even like 135, like it's like PTSD, man. Like you keep hearing those noises.
Yeah.
And I was 4 weeks out. He was 4 weeks out from a meet, and I'm in there a wheelchair like bracing the wheelchair, watching him because I'm so fucking terrified to like watch anybody do anything. But I stayed in the room and I watched him. And
he tried to wheel out on me.
yeah, I was trying really hard to wheel away from it, but man, it was just so. I remember that day. It was so hard for all of us, like Tim and Rob, and like, you know, a guy like me who, like, you know, we're close, we're friends, like somebody they look up to as a powerlifter, like, just seeing me so fucking helpless. You know what I mean? Like, and I know it's equally as hard on my wife. Like, you know, here's literally your husband and also one of the strongest dudes you know, and he fucking can't wipe his ass by himself. He can't walk. He can't do shit, you know. And then when they told me, like, you know, you're probably going to have problems, like, walking for the rest of your life. Like, it's not going to be the same. Like, you know, that was hard shit to swallow, going from, like, you know, top 10 in the world for the last 4 years to approaching 2K to fucking watching all that get taken away. I mean, I watched 6 inches off of both quads in 3 weeks in the hospital. Like, the atrophy was like fucking unreal. It's terrifying, man. And it was like, it's fucking hard, dude. I think it was harder on me knowing how hard it was on everybody else. You know what I mean? Because like, I know they look at me and they want me to be that guy, and I'm just like, you know, fuck being that guy for me. Like, I need to be that guy for everybody else. And I think that was the hardest part of a lot of it, was like, you know, like how do you be that fucking guy for people when you just feel like you don't fucking have anything left, man?
Yeah.
It's fucking
Well,
tough.
I think you come back the way that you did.
Yeah.
I think
and
you did exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, no, I think I did. But I mean, a lot of that was like, you know, that was always in my head. Like, you know, especially with Tim and Rob and like a bunch of the other younger guys, like, yo, like, you gotta.
I felt like when you were down, you lived through the rest of your team, the people that you invested in.
Yeah. No, it truly did, man. Like,
You do really well to invest in other people.
yeah.
It shows.
And
Yeah,
like,
the team aspect's huge.
yeah, it's crazy.
You guys have an awesome team, but just so for the listeners, if they didn't know, so what exactly happened? So you tore both quads.
So so I just got into so after the 1940 total at Brown's Gym, I don't. I think Rob's calling you through the window. I don't think anyone's beaten that for this year yet. So, but I know we have American Pro coming up, so someone's gonna knock me down a few pegs, which is cool.
Yeah.
But it's really cool to know that total's still standing right now, and I did it before I got hurt because it is so early in the year. And it gives me a chance to rebuild. So hopefully enter that again next year. That'll be some shit if I do that, without skipping a year.
Hell yeah.
But I just got into single ply through my friends Micah Moreno and Amber Alice, two people I really look up to. Not only because they also give back and do a lot for the sport. Like Mike is fucking killing it, dude. Shout out to my boy Micah right now, just because so much he's doing with the WRPF. And like, yes, I know I work for the USPA. Yes, I know I run USPA meets, but like, I've competed in other feds, had fun at other feds. Like, I'm gonna respect anyone who is doing more for the sport. I don't give a fucking what fed you're in, what gym you own. Like, if you're doing right by the lifters and you're doing right for your sport, I'm gonna respect the fuck out of that, and I respect that, man.
Same, yeah. No, Micah made a good point. I think I was like listening to him talk on Instagram. We're actually going out to Vegas. We're gonna be hanging out with him a little bit, get him on the podcast as well. But
hell yeah.
It was more so just like him. He just made like a really good point as far as like, regardless of the federation, at the end of the day, there could be 100 feds. That just makes more availability for people to get into the sport.
Yeah, exactly. So like, people thinks it's like diluting the sport, when in actuality it's inviting more in. Now, if you have fed loyalty, then of course that's when you see people with the problem and stuff like that. But at the same time, I agree with you, man. It's more invitation for more lifters to get involved in the sport.
Yep.
And
they all have the regional kind of like...
Exactly, yeah. There's more pull for different feds in different areas where it's more populated. But I mean, me and him have always been close, and like, he used to actually coach me a long, long time ago. We had a little falling out, talked some shit to each other. Yeah. Became friends again. And actually, he's the one that just helped me print my new singlets, so we're very tight again.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a good dude. But of course, he had multiple surgeries on both knees, and fucking
I remember that.
Same thing, man. Came back and is fucking crushing it.
He looks nutty right now.
Yeah, unreal, dude. And his ability to switch in between raw to single to multiply, and just like, hey, what day of the week it is? Like, and he'll just fucking jump in a suit and bang out some shit, and you're like, God damn, like, that ability to switch between technical skill is... Dude, I've challenged other people to find few people that rival him in that area.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, I've never seen anyone else do it like that.
No, and again, I respect him because, one of my big goals was, well, I've had top 10 in Raw, I've had top 10 in Wraps. I want to do top 10 in gear and hold all three divisions at one time, like a top 10 spot. And that was the goal when I got in single ply right before I got hurt. So I'm really going to try to fucking push that in December.
When would you be like fully cleared? I mean, the guy pulled 700 tonight. If you guys listening, just to kind of give an idea of how fast he's come back. What, 14 weeks, right?
14 weeks post-op today on the dot.
Crazy.
Yeah. So I squat for the first time this past Tuesday under supervision of two PTs. It was a loaded bar. Then we had a blue on there, so it was 143 for 3 to a high box, no knee sleeves, no nothing. Looked good, felt good. I think mentally the aspect is very difficult, but it's very weird the way your body develops and changes, post really traumatic injury like that. Like, so now I've always been super narrow. So like I pull conventional, pretty narrow, and then I squat really narrow. So like my carryover between squat and deadlift has always been great because it's literally almost the identical stance. Yeah. But now everything feels better wide as far as squat goes. So now I'm very interested to see how that's going to play out, especially now that I'm in, equipped gear.
Suit, yeah, because most guys that are in suits
are wide.
They're like always super wide.
Yeah. Like. So, and I pay special attention to Amber Alice too, like, because she's one of those people who can also flip in between raw. Like she did the showdown raw, and then she flipped and she just squat like fucking 800 pounds multiply.
Jesus.
In comp. So like she's badass too.
That's
man.
crazy.
So like two people I super admire. And then of course I talked to Emery Mullen a lot, who went through the same exact injury, double quad tear. I want to say, he'll probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it's like been a year and a half, 2 years. But he's hitting all-time PRs, like not post-surgery PRs, but all-time squat PRs now. Damn. In like the 700s and shit. So like that motherfucker gave me hope, and he messaged me and was like, "You're fucking eons farther than I was at that point. So he's like, bro, you're going to fucking come back and demolish all this shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's wild having like people like that. That way you can kind of see what's possible, and then you're even kind of pushing those limits a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
I would say I'm pushing a little. I'm sure I'm waiting for the text message from my PT. He's probably gonna. I told Tim he's gonna shit a brick and then a brick on top of that, and by the end of the night, he probably built a whole brick house and shit. I'm sure he's pretty uptight a little bit about that. But I shout out to Gian, Big Daddy G. He loves it when I call him that. That man has helped me, and I'm grateful for our friendship and him, really helping put me back together.
He's out of Maryland?
Maryland. He's at right next to my gym in Pivot in Salisbury. So my wife was going to this really awesome lady named Tanya that started it, and then he was working under her, and then Tanya was working under Nick Kyle, which was the other guy spotting me in the recent video. So like we have like a really good team circle of PTs that know us really well. And dude, like the support from them, Kabuki, dude, Chris Duffin, holy fucking shit, dude. So they agreed. Apparently they had been talking about sponsoring me for Kabuki, before I got hurt. They're like, we should get this guy. And then when they saw me get hurt and just fucking keep going, they're like, oh, fucking seals the deal. Like, let's get this guy. Dude, Chris hit me up. We did a Zoom call together. And like the next thing I know, like, he's like, here's this guy's number. Here's this guy's number. This shit's on the way to your house. Like, creams and, like, protocols. And, like, dude, you name it. Like, this man's like, we're fucking get you A1. Like,
that's crazy.
Shout out to Kabuki Strength, Chris Duffin, that whole team, Charlie, Janice, Kyle Young.
Yeah.
Those guys have been fucking amazing. And I've just had a super grateful between not only my team at home, but, like, my PTs and stuff, but also like Kabuki Strength. Like I've had an amazing team of people helping me fucking that, believe in this as much as I do and want to see me fucking set the world on fire again, hopefully. So
yeah, all my interactions with them have been really good as well. See them at some meets like Kyle, Charlie. Well, I've always like talked to Charlie. We're like always ordering their stuff.
Dude, she's a badass, man.
Yeah,
she killed drug testing nationals,
yeah.
man. She always does those. She killed the year before too. Before I really knew her that well, I was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I didn't even know it was her. And then like afterwards, we actually grabbed one of their bars from the warm-up room. They're like, "Yeah, we don't want to ship these back. Like they're for sale." I'm like, "I'll take one."
Yeah.
And now she's like,
actually,
"Oh, yeah."
Chop was just telling me that he
yeah.
like ran off the platform like second attempt was like, "Here's my Venmo," and then like ran back and like bought a on sale used Kabuki bar.
Yeah. Yeah, she's cool though. She was really cool.
But just while we're on that subject, man, shout out to Kyle Young, who's been fucking amazing to me. I wish him the best right now. He just had back surgery.
Oh, really?
He had like fluid leaking from a disc on his back.
Damn.
So my thoughts are with him, and he's been we're writing my programming together right now. So he's coaching me.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're working together in a big capacity, and it's like, and he knows my thoughts on other people coaching me. So like, that was a big leap for me. Mm-hmm. So it took a lot of trust for me to do that because I've been programming myself for quite a while. But it's been really, really good. And I just want to say he's been an awesome dude. Actually, that's one of the reasons I wore the suit I wore tonight. That's Kyle's old suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he shipped me that suit, and we smuggled my big ass into it tonight, and it was fucking tight. But it worked good, so it was pretty uncomfortable, so it fit right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the one thing I always like found interesting about all the suits. Like, how do you know which one you're gonna wear? Like, is there like different like strengths, or I guess like
so single ply is literally single ply material, and it's usually made of like canvas polyester blends. So like tonight I wore Inzer Fusion, and it's single ply, but they can make the same suit, but you can like custom order it. So like you can get like 2-ply front and 1-ply back, which makes it of course multi.
Yeah.
So it has to be 1-ply and approved, especially for feds like USPA and stuff, to be count as single ply. And of course, single ply, you can't wear the additional like briefs under the suit, right? Or else it makes it multiple layers. So I've been primarily pulling in either a single ply suit from Titan or Inzer. I pull in this red one I like a lot. I got to get the straps hemmed up. So the rule is like if you can't cut the strap, but if you pinch it and make like a tab and sew under the tab, and it keeps a little whoopie-doo up top, it's still legal. right? So it doesn't fold over itself and make it multiple plies.
Gotcha.
So you can hem your suits and stuff as long as you keep it within the rule book limits. So my mom's actually a seamstress on the side besides owning a dog boarding kennel.
There you go.
Yeah, so she's like, I found some industrial thread on Amazon. I was like, sweet, we're going to hem the shit out of this. So she's going to do my red suit for me. But I really like the Fusion I pulled in tonight. But a lot of people have been asking me about pulling conventional in like a LUP. So LUP is like the Inzer Leviathan, which is extremely popular because it's very adjustable. It fits like multiple weight classes. So like a large you can fit from like, I don't know, like 170 to like 200. Damn. Because it has laces on the side like a corset.
Yeah.
So you can like crank them, and then on top of that you can adjust the Velcro straps up top. It's not like a one strap like a single ply suit. So like it's very similar to like I wouldn't say similar, but like for lack of a better like explanation. So like, you know how if somebody was going to use in classic raw like wraps, and like they'd take their opener and they'd have like like a loose wrap.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't do one revolution. She was kind of chilling. And then the second one they tighten up, and then the third one they fucking crank that bitch.
Yeah.
Well, the Velcro straps work just like that. So like the first one you can kind of like do up, the second one you kind of pull through, and the third one you fucking strangle yourself with, and it'll give you more pop, but the question is, can you bend over and get to the bar? So like a lot of people have been asking me like, you know, they've been watching me deadlift raw for a long time. They're like, why are you doing this like foot thing? Well, I've been watching a lot of taller power lifters who pull conventional in suits, and they roll their one foot to get their underhand under the bar and then put their foot back. And it creates the pressure and tension for you to take the slack out before you pull it. Sucks ass. Super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like your hips are maybe like a little higher than normal too. Is that like
yeah,
because of
and
the
that's
quads?
probably because of the quads. And I mean, I've always been a more like stiff-legged puller.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I get people talking mad shit like, "Oh, you have fucking back and
You're
shit
gonna
like
break
that."
your back. Yeah.
Yeah, my back's fucking fine. My legs are what's the problem.
Yeah.
I broke those already. Fucking I fucked those up. Real good. But no, I mean, my transition from like like I don't know. I fucking hate labels and shit, but like an elite level like raw lifter into ply, single and multi has been fucking incredible, dude. You see me, I'm wearing my shirt, my Black Flag boys from Delaware, Aaron Schulenberg and Bricker. You guys are my fucking boys. I went to a bench seminar with Bruce Mason. They had like a shirted seminar. They raised $400 cash we gave away at King of the Cave. Like, these dudes have been not just them. Anyone I've met in multiply and single ply, it's been like, it's such a small clique in the sport.
Yeah.
But it's like they understand and know it's small. But dude, they've been so much more welcoming than I'd say the raw lifters have been.
Really?
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, no, seriously.
I always, you know, I haven't really got a chance to like interact with a ton of people who have done like multiply or like single ply even, but I've always like felt like maybe, I don't know. I didn't know if they were a little more standoffish because like, you know, they'll typically avoid like a normal gym. They typically have like the small gym where they kind of get together.
Like, I'm sure you don't get a lot of ply lifters in here, right?
Yeah, like I probably can count on one hand easy.
I'm sure, yeah. No, so like I was hanging from the mono.
Yeah,
I was telling you I was hanging from the mono, like putting my straps on, like literally suspending myself in the air when digging my hips down on my suit. And this guy's like, yo, What's singlets that? I'm like, one you don't want to fucking be in, dude. And he was like, are you okay? I was like, right now.
Yeah.
And then like I take it off and my nipples are like rubbed off pretty much, and like you have cuts in your armpits and shit. I mean, it hurts, but like I think if you adapt to like, it's kind of like that tolerance you build with wraps. Like the first couple times you wear wraps, you're like, man, this fucking sucks. And then you kind of build a tolerance to it, and then you can kind of chill in them for a while, and then you're eventually like, yeah, it's fucking wraps. This is what I do. And you just chill in it. I think suits are obviously much more complicated than that, but I think it's a very similar thing. And I think I'm getting a lot of praise from many people of like trying to bring more attention as a raw lifter to the equipped side, because I think especially like with the younger generation, you know, they think like equipped lifting is just like a bunch of really fat, out of shape guys that need suits to be strong. And it's like, it's totally not the case, man. It's like, I would say a really good comparison, and I've had a lot of people agree with this, is like raw and classic raw is like getting really, really strong with good technique, right? And that's how you're going to put up your best totals. Equipped geared lifting is more like doing that and getting very strong and technically skilled, but then relearning how to do it in a really fucking tiny box because your margin for error is gone. Like,
yeah, it seems like people will literally, like in a meet, you'll see somebody miss their first attempt because it's like a technique thing.
Yeah.
Second attempt, something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Then the third attempt, they'll like fucking smoke it. You're like, what just happened?
Yeah,
it's just like
and
the technique
the margin for error is gone. Like, you're either going to touch that bitch down at the appropriate place or you're going to dump the fucking bar. Or, like, you're going to cinch that suit up to make it pop off the floor or you're going to pass out fucking bending over to get to it. Like, I mean, it's very, like, you have to learn to be strong in the equipment. And I think a lot of people, you know, don't give that credit. Plus, a lot of them don't understand the pain threshold.
Yeah.
Like, single ply is like cuts and bruises and like your skin falling off. And then like multiply is like slowly being suffocated to death. So
you're mainly doing single ply right now?
So I'm kind of in a conundrum right now because I signed up for a meet in November. I'm doing my first geared meet in November already. Doing Micah's Freaks Come Out at Night. I'm going to do the night meet. He's like, you're going to do the night meet? It's going to be like 40 people, and you're going to be the only one in a fucking suit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to have the most fun.
Yeah.
And my buddy Trey has signed up for it, so we're just going to, like, go have a blast. And, like, I don't give a fuck.
Is it in Vegas?
No, it's in, I think it's going to be the same place they're doing American Pro here in
okay.
Virginia, so it's not too far away.
Nice.
But so I really like my multiply shirt, but I really like my single ply deadlift suit.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. If I can get this single ply shirt I just got to work out for me, I'll probably go single ply. If not, I'm going to ball out and multiply because I already know I can pull in the LUP, which many people are like, how the fuck are you getting down to the floor in an LUP? Because I have double ply Inzer Predator briefs on plus the laced up suit. And it's still bending over to get to the floor with a belt on. And people are like, how?
Damn.
Like, yeah, because I'm 5'5". That's how. And I'm learning the foot roll. But we are not 5'6", and I say we because we are not fucking 5'6", dude, at all. No, we were actually laughing because me and Rob were doing back the rest of the day, and we were gonna use your seal row.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you're literally gonna have to like pick me up and put me on top of it like a child. And then a B was like, dude, it's got a fucking ladder. And I was like, I see that. That's embarrassing for a lot of people that I'm not gonna use a ladder to do this. So, but it worked out because Rob had to literally do a pull down, 4-year lat pull down to give it to me to operate the rest of the day in front of a shitload of people. So
I see that happen a lot.
I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, that's fucking adorable. Look at that large tattooed man getting help from his tall friend. So tall friends are important in the sport.
Gotta have it. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes. Need tall friends. Tim, you are not a tall friend. You are a friend. You are not 5'6". But yeah, man, it's been awesome. I'm really just having a good time, and I think the whole injury has really like changed my perception of like what I want to do in the sport, but more or less like the route I'm willing to take. Like I still want to do 2K raw. Mm-hmm. Like I still want to go back to raw lifting. I still want to do classic raw. That's my passion. I loved it. I was doing, I did well at it. I'm just taking the scenic route. Yeah. Gonna go explore through the mountains and shit in some equipped gear first.
No, yeah, I respect the hell out of that. I mean, most people who have like, let alone an injury like you had, even smaller. So I have like clients that like roll their ankle and they're like, oh, I'm out. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to come back. I'm like, you twisted your ankle, man. Like you're gonna be good. Like just take the weekend off.
You'll be okay. You'll make it through, man.
No, it's been wild seeing you come back so quick, and like. Yeah, the respect level, it was already very high, but obviously this is a whole nother level, man. It's been crazy to see, but I wanted to touch on, I seen like you have the Papa Bear Foundation as well.
Yeah.
We got to touch on that a little bit.
So, and again, a very appropriate time to do this. We just had a drop this last Friday, and I usually do my online drops like Friday, and usually if we have a meet, I'll do a booth and stuff, but like obviously this weekend was so crazy because it was our first 2-day event. We did day one, tested, day 2 untested, so it was a full weekend at the cave plus weigh-ins on Friday plus the online drop on Friday, so it was fucking bananas. And then Monday and Tuesday I packed orders. Damn. So I was busy, dude. But shout out to everybody who bought the new shirts, who bought the new singlet, who bought the new hat. Man, I really, really appreciate it. I already donated $1,000 of that to feed kids at my school district for the food pantry, because I work at a high needs school district. So food trucks and shit, and many qualify 90% free breakfast, free lunch. So it's really hard for a lot of kids in our area. So make sure that happens. And then I just donated another almost $600 to Jimmy Kolb. He's on Team Anderson with Amber, and he does the Kolb Strong Scholarship. So what they do is they take $1,000. Every $1,000 they get, they make a beginner like package for a lifter in need, and like help sponsor basically a lifter for a year. So I just helped him reach his 3K for his. So they got 3 kids already. Yeah. So
that's sweet.
Yeah. So if anyone's wondering where all that fucking money goes, it's not at my house or cave. It is gone. Because we were just talking to Corey, and he was like, "Do you have a video guy for October?" I'm like, "No, man. We usually have photographers." I was like, "I gotta ask you though, how much you charge? Because your man's that money is fucking gone, bro. We are giving it away." So between the charity and like buying some more stuff for like October, and then of course like a lot of people don't understand, like, especially with 501c3s and charities, like it's just like a business. Like you got to make money to give money. It's not like you sign up for a fucking charity and the government's like, here's all this money to give to the kids. Like that's not how it fucking works, dude. Like I have to design all the shit, find a way to print it all, and still make money and pay for all that shit. Yeah. And then make sure everything else works still. And like people don't understand that. They think you just like have
They're
all
like,
this money.
you just make shirts and then
you
people
just make
throw
shirts.
money at you.
You just get all this money away. I'm like, oh yeah. No, it's just like a business. Like if you fucking sink the ship, no kids get fed. Yeah. No lifters get their shit they need. Like that's how this works.
So. No, that's cool though. I mean, we should I don't know, we should talk more about that so we can do something. I feel like get involved in some way.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely do something.
Speaking
of
that,
regard.
I do want to I got to get a blue dad hat from you. I saw him. I didn't know you had blue. I saw blue up there. I got to grab one before I leave.
We can make that
big summer dad hat. Beanies all the rest of the way though. Yeah. I'm upset it's summer and I can't wear beanies anymore. It's hot, bro. It's hot.
Yeah, it's a little
backwards dad hat. Yeah.
We'll get you to
Forgot my New Balances today. What else were we gonna talk about? I know you had some questions people asked you.
Yeah, let's definitely hit on the Instagram before we forget. So obviously we always like to do the little Q&A with our guests. So let's see, I got a few here, a couple good ones.
Hold on, right before you ask that question, before I forget, because I know I wanted to fucking say this. For all the people who are making fucking talk mad shit on meets, talk mad shit on judging calls, it wasn't directed at you. I know I looked over at you. It wasn't you. I thought you like looked away like I was talking to you. Is he talking to me? No, man. He's like, no, it's you, man. For all the people talking mad shit on meets, talking mad shit on judges and calls, bro, the sport only works if you fucking donate your time and you donate your money. Okay? All these people want to claim, give back to your sport to do this. Fucking competing doesn't count. Don't worry. I like to fucking compete too. Do I count that as giving back? Fuck no, that's for you. Right? So if you're going to bitch and whine, put your fucking money and your time where your mouth is. Volunteer to be a ref. Volunteer to do staff and loading. If you want to bitch about those things, be the change that needs to happen, man. Like, there's only so many me's and CTs to fucking go around. Like, we need more of us motherfuckers. Like, we need help. So, like, if you want to make this sport better, if you want to make judgment calls, if you want to be a ref, you can actually fucking sit with me and take your fucking practical. Make it happen, man. It just sucks because, like, I see so many people like you, like me, like Alex Luxler, like Micah, who are going out of their fucking way to try to make things special for lifters, and then other motherfuckers that only compete bitching and whining and trying to drag them through the fucking dirt. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no.
You don't got anything to fucking contribute except running your fucking mouth.
Yeah, and it's always, I hate when it's like somebody who's like kind of newer to the sport as well. Like they don't even know any better. They're making posts about refs and this and that. It's like, you realize how many lifts a ref is watching throughout the day, who's like volunteering their time, getting paid what? Very little. They give you a little bit, but it's very little.
That's the other thing. Besides for the charity misconception is like, oh, USPA workers, they're making all this fucking money, bro.
It's like enough to cover your like gas and
it's maybe enough to make it through that weekend even.
But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities to give back too. Spotting and loading. I know it's a shitty job. It's a tough job. But if you want to like be involved in a sport, see the sport become bigger and better, donate your time. If you think you can do better than those spotters and loaders,
do better.
Do better.
We welcome it. We always welcome the help, man. Trust me, there is never a meet that goes by where I'm like, I could use one more person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always that way. And when you said, like, you know, you hate seeing, like, the younger guys who, like, barely know much of the sport, I'm on the opposite of that. I fucking hate the old heads. I fucking hate the dude's experience. I fucking hate the guys who have as many years in as me talking fucking shit. You know better.
Yeah.
Fucking act like it.
True. That's true.
It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, you know, one of those things, you know, come out, do your part. It'll only make it better. We always try and get so many spotters and loaders. At this point, I literally try and get like 15, 16 people to show up. That way we can sub them out, keep them moving. They all get paid as well. And, you know, it's still sometimes hard to find enough people because, you know, it's tough. Most people want to just kind of like sit back, make their Instagram posts, cry a little, and then never give back. So,
If you love it enough, it's not about paying.
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
True.
I mean,
Sacrifice your time.
yeah.
If it's an hour drive, you should be able to be willing to go spot and load.
Yeah.
To spend your day there, to invest in the people that are around you.
And I give out free tiers. You don't got to pay for those. I cry at every meet. I'm a little bitch when it comes to that. I'll fucking straight up. Dude, I am. Dude, when my, no joke, like, if it's sad or, like, bad, fucking stoic. Nothing from me.
Yeah.
Dude, my grandma passed, and I was super fucking close with her. When I came out of, my mom told me when I came out of, like, all the morphine and stuff from surgery, like, the first thing I was asking for was, like, where's Grandma Debbie? And, like, she's like, Travis, she's gone. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, just stoic as fuck. But then when it comes to, like, meets and, like, seeing Tim and Rob and, like, dude, like a little bitch. Oh, my God. When those two walk up and get their fucking, like, medals or shit, I'm like, oh, God, I'm so fucking proud of you, man. Like, I'm terrible, man. And I cry.
Man.
I cry every cave meet. I'm like, oh, my God, thank you for picking my gym. And dude, I'm terrible. Terrible.
Oh,
if it's happy and it's dual lifters, I cry every fucking time, man. Every time. Not ashamed of it either.
No,
I cry on the microphone in front of everyone. I don't give a shit. Have many times.
No, I think that's awesome, man. You know what it means to you. You know what it means to potentially
and
these other
like,
people. So.
And I'm not shy about that shit. Like I sincerely hope when people see that, like I hope it means as much to you as it does to me. Like I hope it gives you what it fucking gave me, man.
Yeah.
It fucking gave me everything.
Yeah. No, and I think you can see that in everything that you do, giving back the way you do, all of that stuff. We'll lighten the mood a little bit here. We'll lighten the mood a little bit here. We got a good question. He wants to know, did your tattoos hurt?
I love this. These are my favorite questions, and I'll try not to be like too mean or sarcastic while answering it. So like so some of my favorite questions I get on Instagram resemble this quite frequently. It'll be guys that are like, "Hey man, I think your head tats are like real sick, bro. I'm thinking about getting one. You think my job will be okay with it? The fuck? I don't know where you work. I don't know what your pain tolerance is. Like, I don't know what they're gonna say. I'm like, oh, I'm like, nah, man. I don't like if you have to ask a stranger online that you don't know if they think you should get a head tattoo. I probably wouldn't do it. It's probably not a good shot. But in the end, I'm just like, yeah, man. Let me know if you get that raise. Like, yeah, just shoot the shit, and see what happens, man. But in all seriousness, yes, they fucking hurt. I'll say the older I got, the worse they hurt. When I was like 25, 26, I could sit like a rock, man. Like 6-hour thigh pieces and shit like that. Now it's like 10 minutes in, I'm like, bro, fuck, are we done yet? Like, I can't.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that. When I was like finishing up my arm, this guy comes in. He was gonna get his back touched up. This dude, he was like, I don't know if he's quite, you know, as tatted as you are, but he had like this monstrous back piece. It was sick, the craziest detail, color, and he said the same thing. He's like, man, like, I don't know what happened, because like he came in as like my guy's like finishing me up. He had Pastor, my tattoo artist, like just start slapping on the numbing cream.
Yeah.
He's like layered up too. He's like, last time you didn't put enough on. Like it was like just like an inch off of his back, and he's like, "Yeah, that you need it thick like that." And he's like, "Man," he's like, "Trust me."
We tried that once on my back piece.
Yeah.
So the guy that was doing my back, crazy slow, like great artist, amazing artist, crazy slow.
Yeah.
And just like fucking dig into China. Like, I'd say I have a pretty fucking high pain tolerance. Like, I've sat through some badass tattoos, some bad injuries, and been fucking fine.
Yeah.
But bro, like, back on like kidney area and shit, fuck no, it's so bad. But my back piece still isn't finished. Like, and I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. But my buddy JJ, who did he did one on me right before I went into the hospital, and it was actually wrapped up. I got tattooed like 2 days before I blew out my quads. They wrapped it in gauze, and I didn't put lotion or nothing on that bitch. It was wrapped up for like 3 weeks.
Damn.
Healed beautiful.
Oh, really?
So when they say you got to do this, and that, I don't know, man.
I feel like everyone has
bro.
their own like special formula.
Yeah.
They're all different. I'm like, does it
My
even
special
matter?
formula is I treat it like shit and see what happens. It works almost every time.
Oh man.
The other one would be when people ask me, they're like, how long should I wait to lift? Because you have a lot of tattoos and you also lift. How long should I wait to lift after getting tattooed? And I'm like, dude, I spray Bactine on. I'm in there in like fucking 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
I've literally gone from the tattoo shop to my gym. It's 5 minutes away from my gym.
Yep.
And just go fucking lift. And I'm like, just don't be a dumbass. Like, if you got a thigh piece and you know the deadlift bar is going to rub your thigh, like, use a fucking trap bar.
Yeah.
If the squat bar is going to on your back and you got a back piece, use the SSB that sits up on top of your shoulders. Like, just don't be a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, it's really that simple. It's pretty, like, practical. But
That's
you'd
what
be surprised. Some dumb motherfuckers
Some
out
people
there.
overthink it a little bit.
Yeah, they really do.
Just,
Yeah.
don't.
And spray it with Bactine. Get
Yeah.
Bactine. God damn, get Bactine. Like, spray it a lot. Bro, these tattoos, not a single one hurt. Like, I think though, I'd say, all right, I'll do top 5 real quick. Top 5 worst tattoos. And this is in no particular order. I'm just the top 5 I know hurt like a motherfucker. Knee ditches. Like back behind your
Yeah,
knees where it
that's what I've
bends, a
heard
lot of
that.
tendons and shit. Terrible. My knee ditches were bad. I actually got a matching one with Jess recently on my fucking ankle bone. Like towards the bottom of my foot, but covers the bone. We got matching hearts for Valentine's Day. They have butts in them. It's like a heart with frills on it, and then it's got like a lacy underwear and a butt
There you
inside because we both like butts.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. She has. I'm an ass man. I'm not afraid to say my wife has a great butt on this podcast. It's a good butt. It's a good butt. So we got matching butt tattoos, but I won't lie that there's like a little spot faded out, and I will not get that touched the fuck up. It was terrible.
Damn.
Ankle bones are really bad. Yeah, top of the head, crown of your head, like my Pharaoh's horses. That was fucking gnarly.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, but they're fast. If you're like your temples and shit are pretty bad, but like it's mostly loud and it rattles your eyes, so you get a headache really quick. Yeah, pubic bone. I got like a big ass dagger with a sobriety 7 that runs through it, like deep under my belly button.
Yeah.
Like probably like that was pretty bad. I don't like that. Ribs are bad. I have big like leopard split on one side, like the cat's ass is on one side and the head's on the other. That was pretty bad. Your butt. My butt's done.
Oh, really?
Fuck that shit. Yep.
I feel like I would have thought that would have
Nope.
been like maybe a little
Nope.
better.
There's a reason you get spanked on your ass as a child, and it's because it fucking hurts.
Damn.
Yep. Well, tattoos are no different. Feels like someone's carving like just a fucking steak knife around on your butt cheeks.
Damn.
Fucking, yeah, not fun. Not fun. Yeah. So all the tattoos fucking hurt. But the way I handle it is I tell myself, one and done. So you sit through it fucking once and then you're done. So you either want it or you don't.
True.
That's how I deal with it.
Very true. We'll end it with one more question, quick one. What was the first program you've ever used?
Oh fuck. Program?
Was there anything like I remember like
are we talking like
Googled
old school
something.
like cube method or 531
Dude,
or
I
like
did like a
some
Smolov.
or yeah,
531. I think actually
Russian squat every day. No,
Yeah.
no.
No.
So I'll tell you what I did use, and this is a great way to end this, because shout out to Zach Rector. So Zach Rector was this giant guy who worked at GNC, who went to the GNC next to my college. I went to Salisbury University for a time. when I got into lifting, when I got sober. We used to go to World Gym before it got bought out in Salisbury. He went to military school. He was like 6'5", like 285, like a monstrous human being. Would just like warm up with like 315 on the bench press. No joke. Would just lay down and fucking start repping that shit out. Monster. Walking barbell lunges with like 225. Just a fucking diesel human being. And when I got into the reason I'm answering it with this question for programming is I did what he did. And the rule was he was double / pretty much triple my size at the time because I was cracked out. So I was like $130 soaking wet. He was like, you're half my size. You have to do half my weight. So if he repped out 90s, I had to rep out 45s. And so like that was the program I followed. I followed this big ass dude around who was trying to get me right and repped out half of what he was doing. And as I got stronger, he was like, all right, now you're going to do 2/3. Now you do 3/4. And eventually I got strong as fuck and I gained weight. I was like $150. And like a bunch of his friends were like, yo, for how small you are, you're strong as fuck. They're like, have you ever heard of powerlifting? I'm like, what's that? And now here we are.
Dang.
And that's
so
how
we actually got the real start there.
Yeah, that was the real start.
The origin story.
But I did want to, Zach actually passed away 4 months ago. So
damn.
RIP, Zach. Appreciate
RIP,
everything you
man.
did for me when I was young and getting into the sport.
Changing lives.
Yeah, he would be.
Hell yeah.
So,
damn. Yeah. Good to have you on the show, man. I feel like we covered a lot.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
we did.
Hopefully
Yeah,
these people take something away from not just like.
and if you ever want to do an entire one, like an hour long of just like fucking furious ranting, I'm also
man.
down with
We'll
that.
get you- we'll get
yeah,
you
I was
back.
starting to
This
get a little
was-
hype on like the do give back to your sport shit.
Yeah.
You know, fucking yeah. Yeah.
We're stringing emotions across the board, but yeah, we'll definitely get you back. We'll get into some more detailed stuff, maybe programming, all of the damn things. There's unlimited topics that we could get into. You're around, you're close, so
I float around. Last thing real quick, shout out to everyone that helped out last weekend, King of the Cave weekend, Schulenberg, Marv, Bricker, Carl, AJ, everyone, all my spotters and loaders. You guys were fucking amazing. I couldn't do this shit without you. Shout out to the Estrogen Ocean, which is what I refer to as me and like all the fucking females at my gym. It was literally me and them.
Like
But half of them were spotter and loaders, half were refs, and they're fucking incredible. And I could not do it without you ladies holding down the fort. And speaking of fort, shout out to Liz Fortress and my wife who just joined her team as co-pilot, Jessica Rogers, for Fortress Athletics. So if you're looking for coaching, those two ladies will get you right. They also have much more patience than I do. So they're a little bit better at talking to people than I
hell
am
yeah,
probably.
we could tag them.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and shout out real quick. Sorry. Bobby Bolin, you're the fucking man. Jim and Josh, you're the fucking man. Love all you guys and appreciate everything you do for me for USPA, Delaware, and Maryland. I could not do this shit without you people. And I greatly, greatly appreciate your time and everything you've taught me, shown me, and continue to do for me. So to many more meets together, I appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah. And you can find him on Instagram, Papa Bear Rogers.
Papa Bear Rogers.
All the things.
All the things.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Hey, I appreciate it.
was
Thank you so
great.
much for having
Honestly,
me, dude.
We'll definitely get you back on here. Appreciate everyone for listening to another episode. Make sure you subscribe to the damn channel, like, comment, do all the things. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Yeah.